I just want LeBron to be celebrated. If that's in Cleveland, if that's at home with his family next year, wherever it is, that man has given so much to the game.
There's one thing I'm sure of. This is last year with the Lakers. He's not going to play with the Lakers next year. I've always said I'd like to see him finish in Cleveland. I'm not opposed to him getting traded to Cleveland this year, to be honest with you, because
it gets asked more, and the thought, creeps in my mind more at 41 years old of when the end is and where's the finish line for us to hang this thing up. So I'm at a battle with Father of Time, and I'm kind of taking it personal.
Player in American history grow up in a town and say, I'm going to win a championship for this town. That's unheard of. And then the manner in which he did it, it's just, there's so much to respect. These could possibly be the last 30 games that we see of this individual playing basketball. To compare, to criticize would be ignorant and asinine.
The whispers are getting louder. LeBron James just walked back into Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, not as a Cavalier, but as a Laker. The crowd gave him a standing ovation. The scoreboard flashed, "Welcome home, LeBron," and "Welcome home, Bronny." The moment was cinematic, emotional, and according to people who know LeBron best, it might have been a preview, because Richard Jefferson, LeBron's former teammate, his championship brother from 2016, just went on national television and did something most analysts won't do. He didn't dance around it. He didn't hedge. He made it clear. LeBron deserves to finish his career somewhere that celebrates him, and if that place isn't Los Angeles, then maybe it's time to go home. Not back to Miami, not to some super team experiment, home, Cleveland. And suddenly, the idea that seemed like nostalgia a few months ago is starting to feel like reality. Let's break this down piece by piece, because what Richard Jefferson said wasn't just sentiment, it was a message, and the NBA is paying attention. LeBron's return to Cleveland wasn't just another road game, it was a farewell tour stop that nobody's officially announced yet. The Lakers got smoked 129-99. LeBron turned the ball over late. Drew Timme, yes, Drew Timme posterized him in transition. It wasn't pretty, but none of that mattered. What mattered was what LeBron said after the game.
Question gets asked more, and the thought, creeps in my mind more at 41 years old of when the end is and where's the finish line for us to hang this thing up. So how much juice I can squeeze out of this orange, and how can I continue to, I'm at a battle with Father of Time, and I'm kind of taking it personal.
That's not the sound of a guy planning 5 more years. That's the sound of a guy thinking about legacy, about where the story ends, about control. And that's exactly what Richard Jefferson picked up on. Jefferson didn't call it a plea. He didn't say LeBron should leave the Lakers, but listen to what he did say. He talked about LeBron's 23rd year now, and how the narrative around him has become toxic, not because LeBron's declining, but because people won't let him age gracefully. Every game without a championship is used against him. Every loss is dissected like a career-ending failure. Jefferson's point was simple. LeBron has earned the right to be celebrated, not criticized. And if the Lakers aren't going to do that, someone else should.
I just want LeBron to be celebrated. If that's in LA, if that's in Cleveland, if that's at home with his family next year, wherever it is, that man has given so much to the game.
Notice the phrasing, if that's in LA, if that's in Cleveland, not when he retires in LA, not after his Lakers career. If. Jefferson knows what he's doing. He's planting seeds, and the soil in Cleveland is ready. Here's what makes Cleveland different from every other LeBron destination. He's already done the impossible there. He came back after the decision. He won a championship for a city that hadn't won anything in 52 years. He hit the biggest shot in finals history, or at least set up the biggest block and the biggest shot in the same game. He delivered on a promise that no athlete in American history has ever made and kept, and Cleveland never forgot. When LeBron walked into that arena, they didn't boo him for leaving twice, they cheered. They put his face on the jumbotron. They welcomed Bronny like royalty. That's not normal. That's not what happens to players who abandon their hometown team twice. But LeBron isn't normal, and Cleveland isn't holding grudges. Richard Jefferson understands this better than anyone because he was there. He lived it. He saw LeBron cry tears of joy when they won. He saw LeBron cry tears of sadness when they lost. He watched LeBron carry a weight that most players never experience.
He gives every bit of his energy from start to finish, regardless of the outcome, and he knows that every single thing falls on him. That is a weight that not many people have carried.
Jefferson also shared a story that most people don't know. The day before the first practice of training camp in their championship defense season, LeBron did a 40-minute VersaClimber class at 6 a.m., then showed up to practice. At that point, LeBron had already won a championship. He was already the best player in the world. He had nothing left to prove in Cleveland, and he still did that. That's who LeBron is, and Jefferson's point is clear. A player like that deserves to finish his career on his terms, in a place that respects him. Right now, that place might not be Los Angeles. Charles Barkley wasn't subtle about it.
This is last year with the Lakers. The Lakers pretty much like, this is it.
Barkley's not some random talking head throwing out hot takes for clicks. He's plugged in. He talks to people, and what he's hearing is that the Lakers are ready to move on. Not because LeBron's washed. He's averaging over 23 points per game at age 41. He's still effective, still clutch. The Lakers are 11 games over 500, and they've won more clutch games than any team in the league. But the Lakers are also paying LeBron $50 million, and according to Windhorst, they're going to ask him to take a significant pay cut this offseason.
Almost certainly are going to ask him to take a pay cut, potentially a significant one. Would he be comfortable doing that to help the team build out, similar to what Dirk Nowitzki did in Dallas at the end of his career?
That's the moment this gets real, because LeBron has never taken a pay cut. Not in Miami, not in Cleveland the second time, not in LA. He's always been paid like the best player in the league because he was the best player in the league. And now the Lakers, a team that's stuck in mediocrity, that's lost 15 of 17 losses by double digits, that has no clear path to a championship, are going to ask him to take less money so they can build around Austin Reeves and Luka? Good luck with that. Windhorst laid out the two questions LeBron has to answer this summer. One, is he playing another season? Two, if he is, how much money is he willing to play for? The first question is easier than people think. LeBron's playing next year. He's still productive, he's playing with his son, he's battling father time and taking it personally. He's not walking away now. The second question is where this gets interesting. If the Lakers lowball him, LeBron has options, and Cleveland is one of them. Could the Cavaliers afford to pay LeBron $50 million? No, but they don't have to. LeBron's made over $500 million in his career. His business ventures are worth billions. If he wants to go back to Cleveland, it's not about the money, it's about legacy. And here's the thing, Cleveland has a team. Donovan Mitchell is an all-star. Darius Garland is a walking bucket when healthy. Evan Mobley is one of the best young big men in the league. The Cavaliers are a legitimate playoff contender in the East, a conference that, as Barkley admitted, is wide open.
I have no idea who's going to win the East right now. The Pistons are probably the favorite. I picked the Knicks to start the season. They haven't adjusted mentally to being the hunted instead of the hunter. My Sixers, if they're healthy, they're in the conversation.
Add LeBron to that mix, and suddenly Cleveland is not just a feel-good story, they're a finals threat. Jefferson didn't just talk about basketball. He talked about the emotional toll of being LeBron James. He mentioned sitting on the plane after Game 7 in 2016. Jefferson had been to the finals 13 years earlier and lost. He thought that might have been his only chance. And here he was again, 13 years later, trying to win one before he retired. LeBron's wait was different. He'd waited his whole life for that moment. He'd promised Cleveland a championship. He'd left, come back, and put everything on the line.
A weight that both of us were carrying, albeit very, very different. And I stand by. We've never seen a player in American history grow up in a town and say, I'm going to win a championship for this town. That's unheard of. And
he did it. So the question isn't whether LeBron can go back to Cleveland. The question is whether he should. Because if he retires as a Laker, that's fine. It's respectable. He won a championship there. He played with his son there. That's a good story. But if he retires in Cleveland, if he goes back home one more time, mentors the young guys, makes one more playoff run, and rides off into the sunset where it all started, that's legendary. That's the kind of ending that gets talked about for generations. Not everyone's buying this. Kenny Smith pushed back on the idea that LeBron's done with the Lakers, pointing out that they're only 2 games out of the 3 seed. They have a shot in the West. Why would LeBron leave now? And that's a fair point. The Lakers aren't dead. They're inconsistent, sure, but they've got LeBron. They've got Anthony Davis when he's healthy. They've got enough pieces to make noise in the playoffs. But Charles Barkley had the perfect response.
The Lakers are not gonna win the championship, and you know that.
And that's the thing. The Lakers might make the playoffs. They might even win a round. But are they beating OKC? Are they beating Denver? Are they beating a healthy Nuggets team in a 7-game series? Probably not. And if that's the case, why would LeBron spend his final years chasing a miracle in LA when he could go back to Cleveland and actually compete in a weaker conference? Jefferson made a point that's going to stick with people.
Compare gods. We just choose who we follow. And so these guys are so elite, there's no more comparison. LeBron.
He was talking about the LeBron versus Jordan debate, and his point was simple. Stop trying to rank them, just appreciate them. But here's the uncomfortable truth. If LeBron finishes his career in Cleveland, it changes the narrative. Because Michael Jordan never went back to Chicago. He left for Washington. It was awkward. It didn't work. And people remember. If LeBron goes back to Cleveland and makes it work, even if he doesn't win another championship, it changes the conversation. It shows loyalty. It shows humility. It shows that he values legacy over ego. And that might be the one thing he hasn't proven yet. Richard Jefferson didn't beg LeBron to leave the Lakers. He didn't demand a reunion. He didn't make it about himself. He just said what a lot of people are thinking. LeBron deserves better than this. Better than the criticism. Better than the pay cut negotiations. Better than playing out the string on a mediocre Lakers team while people debate whether he's still top 5. He deserves to be celebrated. And if LA won't do it, Cleveland will. The pieces are in place. The team is ready. The city is waiting. All LeBron has to do is say yes.
Here, and then 13 years later, I'm back in the finals again. And so for me, I'm sitting here like, this might be my last chance. And LeBron.
The clock's ticking. Father Time is undefeated, and LeBron knows it. So the question isn't whether he can go back to Cleveland. The question is whether he will. And after everything he's done, after everything he's given, after everything he's proven, maybe it's time to go home one last time. Not to prove it to anyone else, but to prove it to himself.